What's up everybody, it's CJ Plays here and I'm back with another Sims 3 furnishing video. So the other day I got a DM from someone named Ashley and they're working on a Sims 3 world of their own, and they asked me if I would be willing to furnish a house for them because they love the way that I furnish for my videos, and I was just like, oh my gosh. Yes. They asked me about the size of the house, if I wanted to furnish something big or small or medium, and I was like, you know what, I could try to do something medium. I'm kind of feeling medium today. So they sent me this house and it's like a green and like white-ish bungalow home, and I was like, ooh, I need to kind of furnish this. So I went ahead and I did the floor plan and stuff off camera. As you can see, there is a lot of space in this house. It ended up being a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home, and I just love the way that my furnishing came out. Now, I feel like if you've watched me build long enough, then you probably know, or if you watch me furnish long enough, you probably know that I love to go for the rustic style, you know, like, I don't know, it's just one of my favorite aesthetics, you know. So I kind of wanted this house to kind of be kind of rustic on the inside. It's not like super rustic, you know, with like a bunch of like stone and stuff like that, or I mean there is a lot of wood and some stone, but it's not like a whole lot of it. I kind of wanted to go for a more like cozy family home vibe. Now I don't really know too much about the world itself. I didn't really ask that many questions because I didn't really want to know right now. I try to have like genuine responses when I do world overviews, so I didn't want to know too much about the world, especially since it's still being worked on, and I didn't want to know too much. I was given creative freedom to basically do whatever I wanted to do with the house, so I purposely did not use any store content. At least I hope I didn't. I almost did upstairs in one of the bedrooms. I almost used a store content bed, but luckily I caught myself and I deleted it, so I don't think anything in this house is store content. Most of the stuff comes from expansion packs or stuff packs, and I tried to use a lot of base game as well, so hopefully this house will be a little bit more accessible for you when you want to go download it and stuff like that, because I know that not everyone has all of the store content items and stuff like that, you know. Starting off, we are in the foyer. So this room is like really big, y'all. So I was like, I need to kind of find a way to kind of fill it up. And I kind of feel like whenever you have a big room in The Sims, sometimes using big bookshelves or big rugs can kind of like help fill in the space some. So I kind of started by the door. I used the big mirror from the Pets expansion pack. I also use a base game dresser underneath it. I'm using some archways. So the smaller archway is from the university pack and the big one is from the base game. And then I wanted to use like a big rug to kind of fill in some space down here. I also used the big bookshelf from the Pets pack in here as well, and then I wanted to kind of like put like a chair or something in here, you know, so I put the little wheelchair from the Pets pack. I feel like Pets came through yet again. Like honestly, I love the Pets pack, y'all. Like I guess I should ask, what is y'all's favorite expansion packs in The Sims 3, or like what is your most favorite expansion pack? Because for me, mine's a Supernatural, I would say, but I really do like Pets and Seasons and Late Night and Ambitions and stuff like that. But I feel like my all-time favorite would be Supernatural. But for the sake of this build, I made sure to use a lot, and I mean a lot, of pets. So we have the chair right here with the little pillows on it, so I'm recoloring everything. I used some of those like base game plants. I never used those ever, so I was kind of cool to use them for this build. I've also put like a little university picture up on the wall as well, and then I was like putting some more plants and stuff just to kind of fill in the space. I also ended up putting blinds and curtains for some of the windows, and y'all know I never really do, well, I feel like I barely do curtains, but I definitely never do blinds in the game, so it was kind of cool to like put it in here for this kind of build. But moving on, now we are in the kitchen. So I knew I wanted to have some stone in here somewhere, you know, like listen y'all, I kind of went with the rustic style, we all know, so I had to have stone somewhere in this house. So I used like some stone wallpaper. I kind of feel like it's maybe like a fake stone wallpaper, like it's just wallpaper but it looks like it's stone, you know. It took me a while to kind of figure out the tile for the kitchen. I think I ended up going for some from the base game in like a design that I already had saved. I just kind of played around with it a little bit. I kind of wanted the kitchen and like a lot of parts of the house to kind of be a little outdated, you know. It's not like a super old run down kind of house, but it's kind of like outdated. Like you can tell like the kitchen is like the original kitchen, you know. So I used like some of the countertops from the Pets pack. I was gonna use like a base game fridge and stove, but then I thought about the fact that Pets has both of those appliances, so I was like, why not just use those? So I swapped them out for the ones from Pets. I ended up putting a range hood over the stove. I'm starting to do that a lot more often now. For the longest time, I never really used to put range hoods over my stoves, so it's kind of cool to kind of like do that now, you know. I also put a coffee machine and a microwave. I also ended up using the table from the Pets expansion pack as well. I feel feel like this is my favorite table in the entire game. I feel like it's just practical, it's the right size, it looks cute to me, so I always use it for like all of my builds. So I had to use it in here, obviously. I ended up using one of the base game mirrors behind the table. I ended up using some more base game artwork. Like I said, I was trying not to use any story content for this build. Because I just wanted it to be like more accessible. And then I ended up using these curtains from, I believe they're from the Ambitions pack. So I kind of used these like almost everywhere in the house. I did also use some of the other curtains from the Generation pack, but I kind of recolored them all so they could all match and stuff like that. I did use the Sims 3 tool mod to raise up the curtains a little bit. So now we're going to go ahead and move on to the living room. And yo, I don't know what was going on, but every time I went to go delete the other fireplace and place down the one from the base game, my game would crash. I don't know if it was because I had move objects turned on or something, but like my game kept crashing. I don't think it was the build, I think it was just my game. But luckily what I did was I turned move objects off, deleted the original fireplace, and I replaced it with the fireplace that we have now because I don't know what was going on, but yeah, it was so weird. But in the living room, I used the couch from the World Adventures pack, and then the other couch is from the base game. I ended up putting some wall lights in here as well. I have that TV from the base game that I always use in like all of my builds because it looks so cool. I ended up using one of the Craftsman styled lamps in here as well. I was going to put a rocking chair in the living room, but I didn't really like how it looked, so I swapped it out with another base game chair. I used this nice plant. I think it's from the Outdoor Living Stuff pack, and I sometimes forget that that plant exists, but it looks so nice in here, so I was like, I had to do it. And this is what I was saying earlier, y'all. I actually use blinds. So I really never used them in The Sims 3 because you can't really like move up or down objects without a mod in The Sims 3. So a lot of the times when you go to put blinds, they just don't look right on a lot of windows. But luckily, since we have the Sims 3 tool mod, I was able to kind of like move them down. I only use those downstairs because I feel like whenever you use blinds like that upstairs, it kind of just makes the build look weird, like when you take the walls down. So I didn't put any upstairs. And this is around the time when I realized that there was a door that led from the garage to the living room. So you'll see that I used the rodent terrarium. I was like, oh man, I really wanted to use that somewhere. So I moved it upstairs, and then I got rid of that extra wall to kind of like make the garage connect to the rest of the house. So in here, I used a lot of the Fastlane stuff pack. I think that might be like one of the very few stuff packs I used was the Fastlane stuff. It's basically a garage pack, you know, so I had to basically use it. So I ended up putting like 2 cars in here for a second just to kind of see like how much space they would take up. So as you can see, I couldn't really put a lot of stuff like I wanted to. So I just put like some clutter in the corner just with like some tools and stuff like that. I put a little traffic cone in the corner. And then of course I got rid of these cars because I didn't really need them. I just wanted to see like how much space a car would take up if there was cars in here. I did put 2 parking spaces in here though, just in case you had 2 cars, you know. And then moving on upstairs, so this is like a little like hallway walkthrough section. So I didn't really know what to put up here, so I ended up using some base game couches and chairs just to kind of fill in the space some. I also use the wicker table from the Supernatural pack, and I never, and I mean never, used that table for anything, y'all. So it was kind of cool to use it in here. I also used this rug from Into the Future, and I was gonna try to put like an animal print, but I couldn't really find one that I liked, so I kind of defaulted back to the cow print. You know, the cow print looks nice and I like it. So I ended up putting that in here as well, and then I ended up trying to like squeeze in some plants and stuff like that. So all of the bedrooms are upstairs, and I didn't really have like a particular family in mind. You know, usually when I do these build videos I have like a whole storyline, but I didn't really have that this time around. So like to me, the Sims that live here is a mom, a dad, they have a baby girl, and then they have like 2 boys that are twins, and that's like the only thing that I really was like feeling when I was like furnishing this. So the first room upstairs that we furnish is gonna be the nursery. I kind of wanted a lot of the rooms to kind of be like nice but kind of generic looking, you know, because like this is gonna be for a custom world, and I know like somebody is bound to play in here, so I kind of wanted to make the house look nice enough where you could just play if you wanted to, but if you wanted to like change things you can, you know. So for the nursery, I kind of went with this beige wallpaper. I used the mirror from the Seasons pack, and then I also used the dresser from the Ambitions pack as well. This room has like some green accents and some brown accents here and there, but I kind of wanted it to be kind of basic, you know, where like if you wanted to change it you could, but it's good enough to play, you know. I put a toy box from the Supernatural pack in the corner. I put a rocking chair in here, and then we're gonna go ahead and move on next to the bathrooms. This is gonna be like more the general bathroom that everyone uses. So for the bathroom, I started out with this blue and like grayish color scheme in here, but I didn't really like it, and it kind of stood out a little bit too much compared to the rest of the house. So I was thinking that we could go for like a slightly brownish color scheme for this room, just so it can kind of blend in with the rest of the house. So I used the shower tub combo from the Supernatural pack. I used some base game countertops in here with some of the sinks, and then the toilet, of course, I used from the Pets pack as well. Both of the bathrooms in the house kind of are like similar. I did change the color ever so slightly, but it's basically the same for both bathrooms. So the second bathroom is an ensuite from the parents' room, so it's kind of gonna be like the same, but you know, like I think it looks nice. I also ended up using like this towel cabinet. It's from the base game, and I don't use it as often as I should, but I kind of thought it looked nice in here, so I wanted to use it. I put 2 sinks, and I also put a base game mirror behind it, and that's pretty much everything for the bathroom. So now for the second bedroom. This is the parents' bedroom. So I used the bed from the Seasons expansion pack. I used a base game mirror. I also used a base game dresser. I don't know what it is lately, but I love this little dresser from the base game. It looks so nice. I don't know. I like it now. So I ended up using it in here. I put a plant above it. Of course, I also put like a little picture. We have a couple base game lamps in here. The nightstand is also from the Supernatural pack. And then I was trying to figure out how else I could fill up the room. So I ended up putting a little circular rug. I ended up using some more of those curtains. And then I also wanted to use one of the chairs from the base game just to kind of have like a chair in here, you know. But that's pretty much everything for the parents' room. I don't know why, but I just really love the way this one turned out. This room kind of reminds me of fall. We're getting super close to fall anyway, so I feel like this house was kind of just like a perfect segue to the fall season for me, you know. I just wanted this house to kind of be cozy and nice and just really calming, you know. So that's kind of like the vibe I went with the entire house, I would say. But now we're gonna go ahead and move on to the last bedroom. So this is gonna be like the boys' room. Like I said earlier, I almost used this bunk bed. It's store content, and I wasn't trying to use store content this time, so I was like, yeah, let's get rid of that, CJ. Let's swap this out for maybe the bed from Generations. So I just copied the color scheme over on it, you know. I kind of feel like this room is more of like a mix of red and blue. You know, one brother likes red, the other one likes blue. So the entire furnishing is basically red and blue, if that makes sense. So we have the computer desk from the Pets pack. I realized that I didn't have a computer in this house, so I was like, we need to have one in one of the rooms. So I put one in the kids' room. I also used a base game bookshelf in here. The rodent terrarium made its way into this room as well. I have a toy box in here. This base game lamp that I never use for anything. And then I also put like a couple of posters up in here as well. I wanted to also have like a little nightstand beside the bed. And then as for like the curtains in here, I ended up using the ones again from the Generations pack, but I made them blue and red this time around just to kind of fit in with the color scheme, you know. But in all, that's pretty much everything for the inside of the house. And then the only thing I really did outside of the house after this was just a little bit of landscaping. So I used a lot of the landscaping from the base game. So we have like some nice base game trees. I also used like some of those low-lying shrubs in the pink color. I also went back after I was recording to put a rocking chair on the front porch. And that's pretty much it, y'all, for the entire build. So I just want to say thank you, Ashley, for trusting me with your build to furnish. I had a lot of fun with this one. I think it looks really nice. I am going to leave this one linked down below if you want to download it. And I cannot wait for Ashley's World to come out because I'm so excited to see it. But anyway, y'all, that is all that I have for this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye! Thanks for watching!